Alright, welcome to today's video where we're going to talk about dodging and burning, and we're going to be working on this image right here. And if you don't know what dodging and burning is, it is one of the most important techniques you can use in Photoshop, especially when you're working on anything related to a beauty shoot. So that's the plan for today. We're going to do a little dodging and burning. So the actions that we're using today in this video to edit this lovely photo in Photoshop are my own actions, and they'll be available for download. If you want to download them, stick around at the end of the video and I'll tell you how to do that. All right, so welcome to the video. Today we're going to be working with this photo here of the lovely Michelle Gray. Did a beauty shoot with her a little while ago. Now the skin on this photo has already been cleaned up. We're just going to do a little dodging and burning to polish it up, and I'll show you some before and afters. Now dodging and burning, if you don't know, is a super important technique. It goes way back into the film era when people used to use enlargers, and they would expose pieces of photographic paper, and then you would sort of block out certain parts of the light to burn it, and then you'd put extra light in certain areas to dodge it. And maybe I got that backwards, I don't know. It's been a long time since I used an enlarger, but basically it's a technique that goes way back to the beginning of photography and that kind of thing. So if you want to research that, Google it. It's kind of interesting if you're interested in the history of photography, but I'm not going to get into that too much. We're going to get into this photo, and we're going to do some dodging and burning. All right, so this is the photo we're going to be editing here. Like I said, this is Michelle Gray. This is a beauty shoot we did, and it came out pretty cool. We did this really funky avant-garde kind of look with the makeup. You can see it's, it's really dark over the eyes, and then it fades, and then the lips are really dark too. And I did some funky stuff with this photo shoot. I'll show you the photos later. They'll be linked in the blog down below. So if you want to check out this photo and the other photos, check it out. I put a blog post with every YouTube video. So let's get going. So dodging and burning, basically what you want to do with dodging and burning is you want to make the darker areas darker and the lighter areas lighter. And the whole point of that is to create contrast and pop. You can also use it to clean up skin. I can clean up a few more spots here, but this model's skin was pretty good right off the bat, which is amazing. And when you work with a good makeup artist, the skin looks pretty good. But yeah, so let's get into it. I have a dodge and burn technique here that I use. Okay, so what I have set up here is double dodge and burn. This is the dodge and burn advanced technique. I also have a dodge and burn available on my website for free, which is just a single dodge and burn. And that works for you if that's what you want. But if you want something a little more advanced, like what we're gonna be doing today, this is more the advanced dodge and burn. So I have a small details here set up with a dodge and burn layer. So that's for getting into the little details and lightening up the dark spots and darkening the light spots. And then I have a full face dodge and burn here, and this is more for the full face. So if you want to just make the T-zone a little lighter and the cheeks a little darker to give a little pop in like a bigger area, that's there. And then I have a high pass built into this, as well as a black and white layer, which is only here for being able to see the lights in the dark. So if you want to turn that on, you can turn that on. So we can see here there's like a little bit of a dark spot, and then we got little dark spots here and here, and then around the lip here I can see it's a little dark. So if you want to turn on the black and white layer, it helps you kind of see the darks from the lights a little better because you're cutting out all the color tones. All right, so we're going to start with the small details burning, and we're going to go to the brush. And what you want to do is make sure your brush is not too hard, because then you'll get a hard line on whatever you're burning or dodging, and you don't want to create these weird strokes on someone's face. So we're going to take the hardness down. What am I at? 9%. That's good enough. And brush. Switching over to the tablet now. And so game plan is we're going to look for little details to darken, little details to lighten, to kind of make the face look smoother. And then we're going to use the full face dodge and burn to make the dark areas around the eyes darker and the lips darker. And then we're going to use the built-in high pass feature to bring the details back in the lips, because you want the details in the skin kind of subdued, but there's certain textures in the lips you want brought up, and certain textures around the eyes you want brought up, like the eyelashes, the eyebrows, and maybe even the details in the eye itself. So we got this area here. And for the brush strength, let's go start at 20%. Gonna darken that a little bit, and I'll show you a little before and after here so you can see that one spot. I mean, it's pretty small, but all these little details add up when you're working on a beauty shot. we're gonna go in there, darken that just a touch, darken that to emphasize the line a little bit. And this is not bad for sharpness. This was shot with a 5D Mark III and that notoriously soft 24-70 f2.8L, the first generation of that lens. Ideally, you want to be shooting shots like this with a 100mm macro, but this was before I had that lens. Okay, so now we're going to go around the eye, and we're going to darken the eyelashes a little bit. We're going to darken this area just above the eyelashes. We're going to come around here. We're going to get rid of these little shiny spots a little bit. We're going to darken this area right here. Because this image is all about the eyes popping from that darkness. So I'm going to have to lighten up the white areas, and I'm going to darken the dark areas around the eye, and the eye should just like pop right out. Let's move to this side. We're going to get rid of a couple of those light spots there. Now we're going to work around the eye. I was debating on coloring in the hairs here or even getting rid of the eyebrows completely, but I think it would just look a little too weird, so we're just going to keep them the way they are. We're going to darken under here. That looks pretty good. Now we're going to dodge here. I don't like this darkness by the lips, so we're going to start with a bigger brush, and then I'm going to work to a smaller brush as I go. And you got to remember, when your brush is set to 20% opacity, you can go over a few times and it'll keep getting lighter every time you go over. If you're set to 100% opacity, it gets maximum brightness right away. So it doesn't give you any room to kind of feather in the lightness, which is what I'm trying to do here. And you know, I think I'm going to lighten this up just a touch under the lip. And then here around the edge of the lip. Yeah, let's lighten that up. When you lighten around the lips just pop off the image a little more, and I think the black lips are very dramatic, and I definitely want those to pop. Around the beauty mark a little bit. And then it looks kind of dark here. Let's see if we turn on the black and white layer. You can kind of see like a little dark spot here. So I'm going to try and get rid of that. Oh yeah, there we go. Nice, we lighten it up a little. Doesn't need to be there. And something you can do here too with these dodge and burn layers is you can dodge and burn one time, and if it's not bright enough, you can go and duplicate or make that layer again and do it a second time. Or you can pop in here. If you click on this little symbol here, your curve pops up here, and if you want it, you can pull that, and you can see the areas where I did my dodging got a little lighter. So you can go and you can adjust that as you go. But we are going to leave it where it was, but that's something you can do if you need to. And you know what, we're going to lighten it up right under the nose just a little bit. Big brush, and we're going to go to a smaller brush. You still want to maintain a different contrast between the nose and the skin underneath, otherwise the nose will look flat. But I'm just trying to minimize the shadows here a little bit, and that looks good. Okay, now for the eyeballs. Okay, so let's zoom out and we'll do a little before and after. So you can see the lips are definitely looking a lot better. They pop. I see a couple places where I still need to work on a few things. The eyes definitely have more contrast and they pop out of the image more. So if we zoom out and look at the whole image at once, you can see the eyes really pop out. Okay, so there's a couple places here where it's still a little bit dark, right in that little zone. So dodge, B for brush, make it a little bigger. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go right here along the edge of this line, kind of accentuate it a little bit. Because when you have contrast between the light and the dark, it pops a little more. All right. Okay, good, good, good. So a little before and after again, just to check it out. Okay, I like that. I'm happy with that. So now we're going to move on to the full face part. So the dodging and burning. This time I'm going to start with the dodge. And the let's see, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn it on 100%. So if you click on the actual mask, oops, what I did there, escape. If you click on the actual mask and you hit Control I, it'll invert the black because obviously it's a mask. So if it's black, it's cut out. And if you don't know how masks work in Photoshop, I got a video up there. You can click on it and take a look. It's Introduction to Masks. But yeah, so if it's black, it's dead. You can't see it. If you hit Control I, it shows you what it looks like on. So here we can see if I do everything at 100%, this is how bright it's going to be. And you can see up here the forehead gets a little too bright, the cheeks, nose, a little too bright, but the skin here on the main part of the body does look good. So, all right. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit Control I again to turn it off. And if you hit the slash, I think this is a backslash. No, it's a forward slash. It shows you where the mask is. So now I'm going to take my brush. Let's say we're going to go to 40%. And everybody has like a T-zone on the skin. So you have your forehead, and then you have the area above the eyes, and you have the nose. So it creates like a T. And to illustrate that, here, I'll show you. Oh, what am I doing? I am on the wrong color. I have to switch to white. And a quick way to switch between black and white is X. So you can switch between modes there. So T-zone would be something, that would be your T-zone. When those parts of the face are more illuminated than the rest of the face, it's the more forward part of the face. So when a model is facing directly towards the camera, making those parts of the face a little lighter kind of helps pop the face off the image. And then of course you darken like this area and this area, and you can darken the lips and the eyebrows, make them pop a little more, but that's subjective. That all depends on what you're doing. So let's start here, and we're going to take the opacity to 30%, and we're just going to do right here in the middle, and then we want the nose to be a little lighter, and then under the chin to be a little lighter. There we go. And usually you would lighten this area under the eyes as well, but because we're fading with that black, we're not going to do that. So we're going to go a little bit here using the mouse. Let's go back to the tablet. And then I did like the way the skin on the body looked, so we are just going to lighten that whole thing up. We're going to lighten up the body, and that's okay. Lightening up the skin here with the white background kind of makes the whole like chest skin area fade into the whiteness of the background a little better. So that works for me. Now let's do the before and after. Okay. The one thing I don't like is the tip of the nose is now too light. So we're going to go back and get rid of that. And the forehead is okay. So tip of the nose. Switch to black. There we go. And now we're going to get right in here on the black part. So we're going to go to 100% on the brush. Color in dark areas that should stay dark, because right now we're dodging, so anything that isn't red is going to be lightened by the dodge layer. Now let's take a look at the eyes. I think I can make them lighter. Okay, so what we're going to do is switch the brush to white, and we're just going to color in the white area of the eyes. And let's see the before and after. All right, already looking a lot better. Now we're going to darken the darks. So we're going to go to burn. And I just sort of want to work on the fade around the eyes for the darks. So let's do it. We're going to try and make it a little darker at the top and then fade to light on the bottom. What's a good size brush? That should work. So we're going to switch to white by hitting X. And what am I? I'm at opacity 100%. Okay. That works. And I want to darken the lips a little bit. So there we go. Now we're going to have to cut that out. We're not looking to darken the skin, so hit X again to switch to the black brush. And you know what? 30%. just gonna fade the edge here a little bit. Yeah, okay. Now back to 100%. Okay, now for the lips. And I'm doing this pretty fast. If you want to do dodge and burn properly, you probably want to slow down and pay attention to all the little details and things, but this is just an example video. Okay, so now the lips are a bit darker. And let's take a look here. Oh, that looks like it's got some good punch to it. And let's look at a before and after. Okay, I like that. So you can see now that the image has become a lot punchier and the skin in certain areas has gotten a little bit smoother. The skin was already pretty good beforehand. I'll do another video just for dodging and burning on the skin, but this is a good example here to show you what you can do with it. I like that. So one more thing here, I have a high pass built into this dodge and burn action. And what a high pass will do is will bring out textures. Now, technically you want to sharpen and do high pass on a separate layer, but I built it into this dodge and burn in case you want to use it. We have it masked out so everything's red, and we're going to paint it in with white, and it's going to bring all the details and the contrast in on the lips. So if you're familiar with Lightroom, it's kind of like adding clarity. So we're just going to paint in a little clarity here. So I'll do a before and after. So you can see how the lips pop right now with a little high pass on there. And we're gonna do a little high pass around the eyes. Brush is set to 100%. And I'll show you what I like to do. Oops, wrong color. So I go around the eyes and the eyelashes like that. You can go around the pupil too if you like. There we go. And usually, when the eyebrows are being accentuated, I would paint them in, but in this case, I will not. So we'll do a before and after. You can see how the eyes just pop a little bit more. It kind of makes everything look a little wet too. So there we go. That is it. Looks pretty good, right? I like that. Came out really nice. Let's do a little before and after again. All right, that brings us to the end of this video. So before I go, I'm going to tell you how to download these actions that I'm using here. I have two dodge and burn actions on my website. One is free and it's just a dodge and a burn action, super simple. So if you want to try out dodge and burn and see how it works for you, go for it, download it, it's free, use it all you want. And then I have a dodge and burn advanced, which is the one we used here in this video. And it's only a couple bucks. So if you want to go download it, definitely helps out this channel, helps me out. So yeah. If you want to go check it out, go for it. Another thing too, if you notice the clouds up there, I have another channel called Urban Windows, and it's just urban scenes. So if you're working and you want a little window into the rest of the world to kind of just give you some ambiance of life, of things happening, go subscribe to that channel. It's kind of fun, just a little side hustle for me. But yeah, with that being said, peace out. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up.